Okay, so I have a little secret that I want to teach you.
Okay.
A little secret tip.
Okay.
One of the number one questions I get from entrepreneurs is how to grow their Instagram following.
Right.
So Instagram's the platform to be on nowadays, right?
Cool
And
kids.
all the cool kids are doing it. So I let me just tell you my secret formula for doing that.
Okay.
In module 1, we talked about defining your core,
Right.
which a lot of people who have a day designer have been through the defining your core process. And for some of the audience, this is the first time you've been through it. Doesn't matter, either way. What I'm trying to get you to, when I say define your core, I'm trying to get you to a set of passions, principles, and powers, or strengths is another word we can use for powers, that can be part of your story on Instagram.
Okay. So it's not just about my business.
Right.
It is, but it's also.
Right. Very good question. You can't actually separate your business from yourself.
Okay.
So when you try to build a business based around principles or values, passions, strengths that you don't naturally have and that you don't naturally operate in, you're always kind of going to be trying to drive against the wind, basically. Positioning your business to highlight your principles, your powers, and your passions puts the wind at your back. And it's a weird thing, like the audience smells that when you really highlight the things that you believe and when you really take a stand. It's principle centered, it's purpose driven, and audiences love it.
And you're probably attracting the people that you like to work with.
You're attracting people with shared values.
Right.
And so they're naturally going to appreciate what you have to offer. Sometimes they need help in those arenas. Sometimes you're going to attract people that need a strength that you have naturally that might be a deficit for them. They might be attracted to a certain principle that you have highlighted in your business and some sort of operating principle that you use.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because it's something that they lack. So just to give everybody an example, let's talk about Lindsay. You're great at communication. That's a strength. You're great at listening to people. You are a great sounding board for me personally and a great friend.
Go on with me.
You definitely have a passion for people and an eye for beauty, which not everyone has that. Not everyone has that strength, and so you're going to attract clients that maybe need to rely on you for that strength. Your principles are very firm. Family, faith. You are very into personal growth and always learning and growing, and you're into this beauty. You're into finding the beauty in the world and sharing it with people around you. And so if we pulled out our phones and looked at your Instagram feed right now, what I would like to see is little pictures of each of those things. Give me a snapshot of your family value, of that family principle. Give me a snapshot of why you pursue beauty. Give me a quick snapshot on your communication strength and why you like working in that arena and how you like helping people with that. Because really, business is all about taking your natural gifts, which are your core, your passions, your powers, and your principles, and then putting a service or product to that provides value to people, and that's where the exchange of funds happens. So Instagram is actually a great place to showcase your core one little snapshot at a time. And that's my secret formula for building a following on Instagram.
So you think I could go to my Instagram and say, here is a picture of, so we listed my things. So here's a picture of a candle on a white backdrop. So if that doesn't say, like if I'm not talking about faith,
Mm-hmm.
family, connections,
Mm-hmm.
beauty, so something really
Right.
off, then that I should just kind of start cleaning that
Mhm.
out. Not necessarily now, but when I think about posting
Mhm.
something, like that's what you're
Mhm.
saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I actually recommend memorizing a list
Okay.
of between probably 12 and 15. You could go between 9 and 15 themes
Okay.
Pull those themes from your powers, your principles, and your passions that we just talked about in the last module, we talked about those in the first module actually.
Okay.
Memorize that list, and then before you post anything on Instagram, if it doesn't tie back to one of those themes, don't post it, because you're getting distracted from the story at that point.
Right.
When a lawyer wants to win a case in court, he finds one or two themes, not very many at all, and he consistently goes back to driving those points home. And the party on the other side may try to distract him, they may try to throw in all kinds of different, they're going to try to confuse the jury. Your job is to be the lawyer that consistently drives the same points and the same messaging home again and again about who you are and how your business helps other people.
That's great. So, with this being said, so I am putting my personal stuff in my business, but yet I'm cleaning it up. But now I run my own personal Instagram for the reason that I love 8 million selfies with my cousins.
Yes.
So you think that's okay, but I won't put it on my business Instagram. Maybe
Right.
one, but not
Right.
8 million.
And that's an interesting question, right? Because a lot of people have a personal Instagram and a business Instagram separately. I do have a personal and I have a business, but I don't keep my personal private for the sake of family only shots. An important thing to note is you don't have to communicate every value. So family is one of my values, and I can find different subtle ways to let my audience know that that's important to me, but I don't have to use that value. So in the worksheets, in the first module, you'll come up with what your top 5 values are, and I don't want you to feel pressured to have to use all of those as part of your Instagram strategy. And in fact, some of them may be combined. For me, I have the power of creativity, a principle of creativity, and a passion of creativity. So that's a very important thing to me, and it's condensed in one theme.
I do it in one post. I get it now.
So there's actually a worksheet that you can use that's going to help you take those 15 elements that we explored in the worksheets and define your core, module 1, which is the foundation of your business. And it's going to walk you through figuring out what your themes need to be and give you some challenges for how to explore those themes as part of your Instagram strategy.
Is that clickable? Was it like here? Here? Is it here?
Oh, is it clickable?
I wonder if it's here.
No, it's not clickable. I have no idea where it is yet. So download that worksheet. Lindsay's pointing to buttons someplace. On this page, there is a button for you to download that worksheet.
I wish I knew where it was.
Download it and then hop over to the forums and let us know if you've discovered anything about yourself.